Hello, welcome to our 5th grade band and strings introduction video. I am Dr. Debbie Montag, the district music coordinator, and I am excited to share information about our 5th grade band and strings program. First of all, congratulations on making the decision to enroll your child in this program. Learning to play a musical instrument stimulates the brain, improving functions like memory and abstract reasoning skills, which are essential for a child's success in school and lifelong learning. Let's start by discussing how you register for the program. Registration is online at nsd.org. If you have not yet registered your child, please do so on the district's main website. Students should be enrolled in the band or string program for the elementary school they attend. For example, if your child lives in the Canyon Creek area but attends school at Morelands, they should be enrolled at Morelands for the instrumental program. If your child participated in the beginning string program this past school year, we encourage them to continue in second-year strings this year. If your child did not participate in the beginning string program this past school year, but would like to begin a string instrument this year, they are allowed to sign up for second-year strings this year. All classes will be taught online through Zoom. Classes will begin the week of October 19th. Each class will be 45 minutes in length. The meeting times for each school are posted on the district website. Class meetings are by the instrument. A general schedule is posted on the district website. Your child's band or strings teacher will inform you of your child's schedule for this program. Your child will need a computer with a webcam to participate virtually. If you do not have access to one, you can check one out from the district. Now that you have made the decision to join the 5th grade band and strings program, your child's next decision is to choose an instrument. You will see high school students from our district demonstrating these instruments so you can get a better understanding of each of them. Options for string instruments are violin, viola, and cello. Options for band are flute, clarinet, trumpet, trombone, baritone, and percussion. Okay, let's hear from our high school students.
Hey guys, my name is Rachel Land and I'm in the North Creek Wind Ensemble. I play the flute, which is a great instrument to start out on. Learning the flute is a good way to learn about balance, rhythm, and note reading. There are tons of popular flute songs you'll be able to learn, just like this one. Hope to see you in band!
Hi, my name is Tristan Lee, and I'm a sophomore at North Creek High School. I play in the wind ensemble. I've been playing the clarinet for over 5 years now, and I still really enjoy playing it. The clarinet may seem intimidating with all of its buttons, but it's actually a very easy instrument to learn. It's also a good instrument to start with, as you can transition into other reed instruments, such as the saxophone. Here's how it sounds. I hope that this video is very informative to you, and I hope that you consider playing the clarinet.
Hi, I'm a student in Moore High School, and I play the trumpet. And so what a trumpet is, it's a brass instrument inside the brass family, and if you want to make a sound on it, you just essentially press your lips together and make a buzzing sound through the mouthpiece. Instead of just blowing through it, you kind of vibrate your lips so that it creates a sound. When you do that and put the trumpet onto the mouthpiece, you create a nice warm sound. The reason why I like playing the trumpet is because it's nice and loud, nice and bright, and so you always get that attention regardless of what kind of band you're in. Not only that, a lot of famous pieces, a lot of famous songs can be played on your trumpet. It's very versatile, and so whatever kind of movies you're watching, whatever kind of music videos we're watching, any kind of music you see in those kinds of things, you can probably transcribe and play onto your trumpet. Play the trumpet.
Hi, I'm a student in Moore High School. I play the trombone. How you make sound on the trombone is you buzz through your mouthpiece, and it carries your buzz down your slide, back up, and out your bell. And then to change your note, you just change the frequency of your buzz, or you move your slide. And I like the trombone because it's a bit different than other brass instruments in the sense that you use your slide to change notes rather than using keys or valves. And here's a little bit of what the trombone sounds like.
Hi, I am a student at Inglemoor High School and I play the euphonium. The euphonium is sometimes referred to as the baritone, and the way it works is you blow air or buzz through this mouthpiece, and the sound goes through all this tubing and out the bell. The euphonium is a low brass instrument, which means it has a lower sound or pitch than other instruments such as the trumpet. This because the tubing is wider and it takes longer for the sound to go through all the tubing and out the top. I really like playing the baritone. I think it has a really unique and beautiful sound, and I think in a lot of musical pieces, the euphonium gets to play a lot of equally as beautiful parts. I'm now going to play an excerpt of the song Londonderry Air, more commonly known as Danny Boy.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy and I'm a senior at North Creek High School. I started band when I was in 5th grade and I've been a percussionist ever since. Now I get to have lots of fun in high school marching band by performing at football games, special events, assemblies, and even more. As a percussionist, I have the opportunity to play various mallet instruments such as the marimba and the xylophone, beat-keeping instruments such as the snare drum and the bass drum, and even cool-looking shakers and drums that I had never seen before. The percussion section is the rhythmical heartbeat of the band, and honestly, I have so much fun being a part of our school's drumline. Here's a snippet of our band's marching cadence, which is what the drumline plays as the band marches onto the football field before a show. Thank you so much for listening, and please consider joining band.
Hey everyone, my name is Tanya and I play in the chamber orchestra at North Creek High School. My instrument is the violin. This is what the violin looks like. The violin is the smallest member of the string family, along with the viola, the cello, and the double bass. What's unique about the violin is its smaller size and the range of notes it can play. It can play much higher notes than the viola, the cello, or the bass. The violin, as you can see, has 4 strings. This is the G string, the D string, the A string, and the E string. And this is the bow. The bow is what you use to make music come out of the violin. I chose to play the violin because I love the sound it made. It's very beautiful. And playing in the orchestra with all my friends sounded like so much fun. You can play all types of music on the violin, like classical, or you can play something a little more fun, like this. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope to see you in orchestra soon.
Hello, I'm a senior at North Creek High School and I'm a part of chamber orchestra. This lovely instrument you see me holding is called the viola. I'm so glad I chose it and I really hope I can inspire you to do the same. This instrument is so lovely. It's a combination of 2 really popular instruments, the violin and the cello. This instrument is super underrated. You should definitely play it. It can be super gorgeous. It can also be super fast and aggressive. You'll definitely not regret choosing this instrument. I've been playing for a really long time, and I hope you will too.
Hi, I'm a senior cellist at North Creek High School. This is the cello, the second largest instrument in the string family, succeeded only by the bass. It has 4 strings, the C string, G string, D string, and A string. It has most of the same components of the rest of the instruments in the string family. It has 2 F-holes, a bridge, and a fingerboard. It differs from the violin and violas in that it has a end pin as well. It plays in bass clef, and it has the closest tone range to that of the human voice. I'll be playing for you a very popular piece in cello music known as Saint-Saëns Cello Concerto No. 1, Opus 33. Now I'll be playing for you a very popular piece in cinema, known as the Imperial March from Star Wars. Thank you.
We hope that hearing these demonstrations assists you in choosing an instrument. You can rent or buy an instrument at any reputable music store. You can go online and look at the terms of the rental. Many stores have rent-to-own plan. Find an instrument and a store that fits your family's financial situation. Many stores have curbside pickup. Yes, you can look for instruments in other places, pawn shops or non-music store sites, but if it seems like an incredible bargain, it probably is not worth the money. Some inexpensive instruments will break easily and may not last for the entire school year. If you cannot afford to rent an instrument, please contact your child's band or strings teacher. They may be able to provide a school-owned instrument for your child. There are many considerations when purchasing or renting an instrument, like sizing and what cleaning and general accessories are needed. Mrs. Kramer will provide some information about selecting and playing a string instrument. And then Mrs. Radachai will provide some information about selecting and playing a band instrument.
Hello, my name is Karen Kramer, and I'd like to talk to you about the interest that your child has in playing strings. This is violin, viola, and cello. I've taught in the district for 22 years. This is my 22nd year. I remember back to when I was in 5th grade, I wanted to play a violin. And I'd taken piano lessons since I was in 1st grade, and my parents were really dubious about my desire to play violin. So they made me wait until 6th grade. And when in 6th grade I finally got my violin, I was thrilled because I could finally play an instrument, move around a room at the same time. And so it's been a lifelong journey for me to play stringed instruments, and I hope that we can introduce your child to this evening and in this year to come. The 3 instruments that we play in beginning strings and in continuing strings, and you can go ahead and start in 5th grade this year, even though some of the 5th graders started last year. It's okay to start this year. We will take care of that. We will teach, let me find my instruments here right behind me. We teach violin, that's the highest string instrument, and viola, and we have a cello over here. Let me adjust this a little bit, and here's our cello. Generally speaking, we sit down to play cello. This way I'm holding it makes it look like a stand-up bass. If your child wishes to play a stand-up bass, we ask that they wait, that they play cello this year, and then in 6th grade, continue on bass. Just switch to bass. It's a very easy switch from cello to bass, and we do it very often. Often I'm asked, well, how does my child know which one to play? And I really think it has to come from the heart. Okay, what sound do they like? Some kids really like the bright sound of the violin, the high sounds. Other kids are a little bit more quiet maybe, but they just like the mellow sound of the viola or even the cello. And the cello is one of those that can play the kind of the deep, mellow sounds, and you hold that cello against your chest, and you can feel the vibrations of that cello. And so they need to listen to it. And so if your child is still deciding, then take them online to YouTube and have them listen to the different violin by itself, a viola by itself, and a cello by itself. Normally we would do that in school, but of course we can't do that this year. So the other questions I'm asked is, well, where do I get these instruments? And we have many fine local music stores. And so if you just look up online, you can put in violin or viola, where to rent. You can even rent them from maybe even the Midwest online. That's even a possibility. And they will ask either to have your child present when they size the instrument, because these instruments come in multiple sizes, or for violins and violas, you measure from the neck to the palm, arm straight out. And that will give you an idea. You can give them that measurement, and that will give them the idea of the size that you need for your child. For a cello, they want to know the height of the child, because they need a torso when they're sitting on a chair, torso height. But they'll need to know the whole height of that child in order to size that instrument. One other thing is, sometimes I'm asked, well, am I supposed to buy the kit? Sometimes stores will try to sell a kit along with the instrument, and that is not necessary. The one thing that you need is, well, for cellos, they will need a rock stop or a shoe. Just take your shoe off or put it on carpet, and it doesn't slide around. It slides around on wood floors, on the linoleum floors, and if that's the situation, you can just use a shoe. The violins and violas need not a sponge. This is not a sponge. This is a half-inch piece of foam. So you can get this at either Joann Fabrics, and I usually make a lot of these. If you can't do this, like, we can probably figure out a way to get you one. Or just find a piece of foam. It's about 3 inches by 4 inches. And we put that on with a rubber band so that it just protects the collarbone. We put a rubber band along one bout. That's called a bout, a shoulder. And we put it on the back so that it just protects the edge, the collarbone, from colliding with the edge of the instrument. All right. One other item is, we all use the same book. This is a book for violin, but it's Essential Elements for Strings, Book 1. So your child will need that to get started. And I want to thank you very much. And I'm so excited for your child's interest in playing strings. It's been a lifelong journey that I have really loved.
Hi, my name is Hillary Radachai, and I teach band at Canyon Park Middle School. I am really excited to chat with you a little bit today about the instruments that your 5th grade student can learn to play in 5th grade beginning band. So let's get started. We have 2 woodwind instruments that students can learn to play. The first and the higher pitched woodwind instrument is the flute. And students make sound on the flute by blowing air across this hole on the head joint. And then you use both of your hands to push the keys, and that's how you change notes. If you're going to play the flute, you will also need to make sure, in addition to your instrument, that you have a cleaning rod. And this cleaning rod can have a cleaning cloth that goes through it. You can buy a cleaning cloth from the music store, or you can just use a piece of an old t-shirt or any other thin material as your cleaning rag, but you will need a cleaning rod in addition to your flute. The second woodwind instrument that you can learn to play in beginning band is the clarinet. And the clarinet looks a lot like an instrument that you might be familiar with. It looks kind of similar to the recorder. The clarinet makes sound when you blow air into the mouthpiece, and this reed vibrates. And then, similar to the flute, you use your fingers to cover holes and push keys, and that's how you change notes on the instrument. If you're planning on playing the clarinet, in addition to having your clarinet for band, you'll also need a couple of accessories. You will need some cork grease, which looks sort of like chapstick, but it's for your instrument. And you can get this at any local music store. You can order it online. It's really important to making sure that your instrument is well taken care of and that all of the pieces fit together nicely. You'll also need a swab. And your clarinet swab, there are a bunch of different types of swabs that you can get from the music store. I really recommend a silk swab. And the reason that I recommend that is they are much more durable than the felt or the foam swabs that you can also get from music stores. Silk swabs are only $1 or $2 more expensive, and they'll last your student all year long instead of breaking partway through the year. Sometimes the other swabs get stuck inside of the instrument. So I really recommend a silk swab. You'll also need a reed. And there are different sizes of reeds. There are different types of reeds for different instruments. What you're looking for 5th grade beginning band is a B-flat clarinet reed, and you're looking for it in a size 2. If you're ordering or looking at a local music store, you want a size 2 B-flat clarinet reed. Your music teacher will talk to you about the different sizes of reeds and will let you know if and when you're ready to change sizes of reeds, but I would recommend starting on a size 2. Most clarinets that you rent will come with a ligature. It's this metal piece that holds the reed onto the mouthpiece. If you are using a clarinet that's been in your family for a while, you'll want to check and make sure that you have a ligature as well. When we talk about woodwind instruments, students usually ask me about one that is missing from our beginning band, and that's the saxophone. The saxophone is actually a second-year band instrument, and so if your student is hoping to play the saxophone as a 6th grader in middle school, they will need to start on the clarinet this year in 5th grade. Then their band director can talk to them about the process for learning and switching to the saxophone in 6th grade, but they'll need to play the clarinet during 5th grade in order to be ready for that transition. We also have 3 brass instruments in our 5th grade beginning band. All of the brass instruments make sound by buzzing into a mouthpiece. 2 of our brass instruments change notes using valves, and one of them, a very special brass instrument, changes notes using a slide. So the highest pitched brass instrument that we have in beginning band is the trumpet, and it, as you can see, changes notes with valves. We also have the trombone. It's a lower pitched instrument. It's a bigger instrument, and it changes notes by moving a slide. That's kind of the special thing about a trombone. It has a slide that it moves. That's really cool. We also have a baritone, which is kind of like a combination of the 2 instruments. It has valves like a trumpet, but it plays low notes like a trombone. So you can also start on the baritone. If you choose to play a brass instrument in 5th grade band, you will need valve oil, or for trombone players, you'll need slide oil or slide grease. And that is the only accessory other than your instrument that you're going to need. 5th graders can also play percussion. And percussion is actually a family of instruments. It's not any one individual instrument. And so in North Shore, our 5th grade percussionists start on mallet instruments. They start on bells. So to start out with, for percussion, you'll need bell mallets, and you'll be learning to play on a bell set that looks like this. The bell set is set up a lot like the piano keyboard, and it's a mallet instrument similar to those that you might be familiar with from your elementary general music classes if you play mallet instruments there. You'll need a stand to put your bell set on. You'll need a bell set and you'll need mallets. Usually about halfway through the year, once we've reached a certain level in our mallet playing, then students add the snare drum. At that time, you'll need a pair of snare drum sticks. You can use an actual snare drum with a snare drum stand. There are percussion kits that you can rent from the music store or purchase that have a bell set and a snare drum, both with stands, and that's a great option. Another option, if it needs to be a little bit quieter in your household, is a practice pad. And this gives the same feeling as a snare drum, but as you can see, the volume is a lot less. So a practice pad and snare drum sticks will be just fine, or a snare drum and snare drum sticks in addition to the bell set and the bell mallets. I'm going to share my screen here for just a moment to talk about the other supplies that all 5th grade band students will need. All 5th grade band students will also need a book. They use Standard of Excellence Book 1. And this is an instrument-specific book. So whether you're getting it from a local music store or ordering it online, you'll want to check and make sure that you're getting the Standard of Excellence Book 1 that is written for your student's specific instrument. And you can take a look right up here in this upper corner where it will say trumpet if your student's playing trumpet, or flute if your student's playing flute, clarinet if your student is playing clarinet. If your student is playing percussion, you'll want the book for drums and mallet percussion. If your student is playing trombone, it will say trombone. And if your student is playing baritone, you will want the book that says baritone BC. The BC stands for bass clef, which is the clef that we want our 5th grade baritone players to start learning to read. You might also see some baritone books that are marked TC that won't be what we're using in 5th grade band. So if your student is starting on baritone, they'll want the baritone BC book. The other supply that all 5th grade band students will need is a music stand. Folding music stands are an affordable and portable option. They're easy to set up, put away when you're done with them, and they hold all of the music that you would need them to. If you have a more permanent music stand in your house, that is a great option as well. In terms of deciding which instrument is right for your student, I really recommend listening to every instrument and seeing which one you like the sound of. It really is important that you like the sound of the instrument that you're going to play, because you're going to be hearing that sound every time you take out your instrument to practice, which hopefully will be a lot. I also encourage you, if you have questions or things that you're wondering about or need some guidance, to reach out to your student's 5th grade band instructor. We are so lucky in North Shore. We have the most incredible music team and the most incredible instructors, and they are more than happy and able to help you and your student with any questions you may have. I'm so excited for your students to begin this really fun musical journey, and I can't wait to meet all of this year's new 5th grade beginning band students.
Thank you, Mrs. Kramer and Mrs. Radachai. Your child will also need a book for their instrument. For band, we use the Standard of Excellence, Book 1. It is red. For strings, we use Essential Elements for Strings, Book 1. Make sure you get the book that not only matches the program, but also matches the instrument your child chooses to play. The book for each class can be purchased at most music stores or online. So now we've talked about your instrument, the book you need. The last important item is your teacher. Each band or string teacher will be teaching students from multiple elementary schools. Mrs. Kramer will teach the string students from Arrowhead, Frank Love, Kenmore, Lockwood, Moorlands, and Woodmore. Miss Newman will teach the string students from Canyon Creek, Cottage Lake, East Ridge, Fernwood, Hollywood Hill, Kokanee, Ruby Bridges, Sunrise, Wellington, and Wooden. Mrs. Winters will teach the string students from Crystal Springs, Maywood Hills, Shelton View, and West Hill. Mr. Barnes will teach the band students from Arrowhead, Moorlands, and Woodmore. Mr. Carlson will teach the band students from Canyon Creek and Fernwood. Mr. Kelly will teach the band students from Cottage Lake, East Ridge, Hollywood Hill, Ruby Bridges, and Sunrise. Mr. Lane will teach the band students from Crystal Springs, Frank Love, Kenmore, Lockwood, Maywood Hills, Shelton View, and West Hill. Miss Smith will teach the band students from Kokanee, Wellington, and Wooden. Students who are enrolled at Bear Creek for North Shore Family Partnership will join students from another elementary school for their lessons. All of our 5th grade band and strings teachers and their elementary schools are posted on the district's website. Let's let some of our teachers introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Missy Newman, and I'm the string teacher for several schools, for Cottage Lake, East Ridge, Hollywood Hill, Ruby Bridges, and Sunrise, along with Canyon Creek, Fernwood, Kokanee, Wellington, and Wooden. Now, I cannot wait to work with you guys starting in October. I'm here with my cello, and I can't wait to see you and your instruments as well. Shout out to all my students that I had last year in 4th grade and my students at Fernwood. See you soon.
Greetings to my future students. I'm Mrs. Winters. I'm teaching violin, viola, and cello. I'm the general music specialist at Maywood Hills, where I've taught for many years. The schools I will be teaching violin, viola, and cello to are Crystal Springs, Maywood Hills, Shelton View, and West Hill. I'm very much looking forward to meeting you. Goodbye.
Hello, 5th grade families. My name is Mr. Barnes, and I'm in my 17th year as a music educator and in my 3rd year teaching band and advanced strings to the students at North Shore Middle School. This year I'll be working with 5th graders at Arrowhead, Moorlands, and Woodmore Elementary Schools in the beginning band program. I can't wait to get started, and I hope to see you soon.
Hello, North Shore families. My name is Dan Carlson. I teach band and orchestra at Skyview Middle School. For the 5th graders this year, I will be teaching beginning band at Fernwood and Canyon Creek Elementaries. I really look forward to working with your students. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tim Kelly, but most people just call me TK. I teach band, choir, and orchestra out here at Timbercrest Middle School, and I will also be teaching 5th grade elementary beginning band to the students at the following schools in alphabetical order: Cottage Lake, East Ridge, Hollywood Hill, Ruby Bridges, and Sunrise, all 5 of those elementary schools. I have been teaching music in the school district, all of them here at Timbercrest, for the past 20 years. I absolutely love it, and I really look forward to working with your kids, and I'm excited to see you guys in class soon. Thank you. Have a good night.
Hey, future band families. My name is Ryan Lane, and I'm currently the band director at Kenmore Middle School. I've been teaching for 16 years. This is my 4th year in the North Shore School District. I will also have the privilege of teaching elementary band this year. I will be teaching at Crystal Springs, Maywood Hills, Shelton View, and West Hill during the 12 o'clock hour. I will also be teaching Frank Love, Kenmore, and Lockwood during the 8 o'clock hour. I'm really excited to meet everyone, and hopefully we get to meet in real life soon. It's going to be a great year, despite this crazy digital world, and I hope to meet you all soon.
Hello, my name is Kayla Smith, or Miss Smith, and I'll be teaching 5th grade band at Wellington, Wooden, and Kokanee. So again, band is for woodwinds, that's flute and clarinet, brass, which is trumpet, trombone, and baritone, and percussion. I am super excited to have these students here for 5th grade band, and our time is going to be 3:30 to 4:15. I hope to see you there.